New York, 1870s. High society is a world of strict rituals, where every evening is filled with opera, lavish dinners, or balls. Here, every glance, every word is weighed on the invisible scales of propriety, and the slightest misstep threatens exile. Young lawyer Newland Archer, full of ambition, navigates this world with confidence. His engagement to May Welland, a young beauty from an aristocratic family, promises him a stable future. May embodies society's ideal. Her grace, devotion to tradition, and skill in polite conversation make her a flawless bride. Yet, in her presence, Newland's heart does not stir. Their bond is more a contract than a passion. Into this orderly world bursts Countess Ellen Olenska, May's cousin. Returning from Europe after Breifingweekend, Count Olenski. Her arrival causes a stir. Rumours of her affair with another man in Europe make her an outcast. At balls and dinners, whispers follow her, condemning her boldness in leaving her husband Dan, unforgivable act in this society. Ellen, with her independent spirit and forthrightness, becomes a stranger among her own. Newland, as the family's lawyer, takes on the task of helping Ellen reclaim her place in society, handling her divorce proceedings. Their initial meetings occur at lavish gatherings where Ellen, unlike other ladies, speaks openly, with a subtle mockery of high society's hypocrisy. She speaks of the freedom she enjoyed in Europe and the injustice where women are unforgiven for their mistakes, while men are permitted everything. Her words, filled with bitterness and strength, awaken doubts in Newland. He begins to see cracks in the world he always considered unshakable. At a dinner hosted by the influential Van der Leydens, Newland passionately defends Ellen before relatives, arguing that she is unfairly judged based on rumours. His fervour betrays not just professional duty, but a growing admiration. May, seated across the table, notices his animation. Her usually flawless smile becomes slightly strained, her gaze watchful. At the Van der Leydens' home, during another reception, Newland and Ellen find themselves alone in the drawing room. Their hands brush briefly as they exchange a book, and this fleeting moment stirs a wave of unexpected emotions in Newland. He feels his heart quicken, and her gaze, filled with warmth and a hint of sadness, lingers with him long after. Later, in the garden of the Archer's home, May gently brings up the wedding, hinting that it could be hastened. Newland assures her of his commitment, but his thoughts are already consumed by Ellen, her courage, and her pain. Their meetings with Ellen become more frequent. They converse at balls and stroll through an autumn park, where leaves fall beneath their steps, and their glances increasingly intertwine, filled with unspoken attraction. Ellen shares stories of her life in Europe, of dreams shattered by her husband's betrayal, and of her yearning for freedom. Newland is captivated by her spirit, but his soul is torn between his duty to May and his growing passion for Ellen. He begins to see May not just as his fiancée, but as a symbol of the society that stifles his desires. Society takes notice of their closeness. At lavish dinners, guests exchange knowing glances, and rumours of a possible connection between Newland and Ellen spread like sparks. A letter from Count Olenski, Ellen's husband, carries a threat. He is ready to expose her compromising past if she continues to pursue a divorce. Newland, as her lawyer, urges Ellen to back down to protect her reputation, but each encounter intensifies his inner conflict. He doesn't want to lose her, yet he understands that their closeness threatens his standing. In a secluded corner of the Van der Leydens' home, amidst shadows and silence, Newland confesses his love to Ellen. His voice trembles with desperation and hope. Ellen, her eyes brimming with tears, responds that her feelings are mutual, but she cannot ruin his life or May's. Her refusal breaks his heart. To avoid temptation, Ellen leaves for another city, leaving Newland in turmoil. Newland and May's wedding is a grand affair. The church is adorned with flowers. Guests applaud, but Newland's face remains expressionless. His thoughts are with Ellen, whose departure has left a gaping void in his soul. "Oh, ye letter!" Ellen returns to New York. Their encounter at a ball is filled with longing. Their gazes speak of undying love. But Ellen announces she is leaving for Europe, having received financial support from a relative. May, sensing a threat, hosts a farewell dinner for Ellen. After the dinner, she pulls Newland aside and reveals her pregnancy, adding that she had already shared the news with Ellen before it was confirmed. Newland freezes, realizing May had long suspected his feelings and used her pregnancy as a means to separate them. Ellen, unwilling to destroy their family, leaves for good. 26 years pass. Newland, now a father of 3, lives in a passionless marriage. May dies of an illness, leaving him alone. His son, Archer, full of enthusiasm, marries and persuades his father to travel to Paris. There, he shares that May, before her death, confessed Newland had sacrificed his love for her sake. Newland, with a heaviness in his chest, replies that no such conversation ever took place, but his voice betrays his pain. They walk to Ellen's home, where she still lives in Paris, alone. His son urges his father to go inside, but Newland pauses at the threshold. His gaze fixes on a window, where Ellen's shadow briefly appears. Memories flood back, balls, strolls, her smile, their unfulfilled dreams. His heart tightens with regret. He sits on a bench across from the house, gazing at the window where the light fades. Newland rises and walks away, realizing that the time for their love is gone forever. And society, with its unrelenting rules, has prevailed. Share in the comments. Would you choose passion or duty? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. New retellings await you.